Doing NoFap for about a year now not only fixed my erectile dysfunction, but led me to change my perspective on women. People in the NoFap community often talk about female attraction and how NoFap had some kind of an effect on them. But I don't think that there is something magical here. What happens is that NoFap starts to rewire our brain and change our perspective on women and on sex, and that leads us to develop more skills when it comes to communicating and flirting with women. In this video, I will talk about how NoFap makes you more attractive to women, and I'll use my personal experiences as examples. Let's start with perspective change on women. One thing that NoFap teaches men very well is that women are not everything. Of course, that doesn't mean that we get rid of urges and deep sexual desires towards women. That will never go away, because that is a natural part of being a human. But what happens is that you begin to have control over your horny state. Now, being horny is natural, so we won't escape it. But after doing NoFap for a while, you begin to gain control over this state. The longer you do NoFap, the more you will gain control over your mind when an urge hits. Often, being horny becomes uncontrollable because of the strong sexual desires. But with experience in your NoFap journey, you start to curb more urges, and the way you do it is by practice, by mentally preparing yourself for the urges, and knowing the true reasons for doing your NoFap journey. That's how you control urges. But okay, you start to control your urges. What does that have to do with female attraction? Well, every time you don't give in to the urge or have a relapse but don't give up, you build up more control in your head. You begin to develop discipline. This new mentality gives you clarity when it actually comes to real women. You no longer chase them. You start developing your self-worth. You're no longer controlled by your dick. If you're presented with an opportunity to have sex with a girl, there's no longer just one option that was, oh well, why not? I don't have many opportunities for that. You realize that you can choose. There's no need to just satisfy your sexual desires with just any girl. We as men need to realize that we can be better and have better. This is when you go on to the next level of NoFap, which is you start to use that mentality in real life. For example, start looking at beautiful women like an urge. What do we do with urges while we are on NoFap? We try not to give in. This is where female attraction comes into place. Women who are beautiful know that they can get any guy they want, but you separate yourself from the mob by showing them that you are not as interested in them as other men, and that you won't chase them. So what happens is that women start to chase you.
Don't chase women.
Really?
They'll chase you.
Is that your strategy?
Yeah.
Does it work?
Works very well.
This is another thing that happens when you start adopting your NoFap mentality towards women. When females are no longer a priority for you, you don't chase them anymore. They start to chase you. You've probably noticed that humans often want something that is hard to get, or at least harder to get. And that's exactly what you become once you realize that women are not everything. You become more alpha, you become more desirable, because you don't get down on your knees and lick every woman's feet that you find attractive. You become a man who is disciplined towards controlling his sexual desires. That's the true power. I'll tell you a story of how I realized how powerful you become once you no longer prioritize women. I once was in this Erasmus project where there was this one girl who was beautiful, and every guy in the project was trying to get her attention, because there were not that many other gorgeous girls like her in the project. I would probably be with those other guys and try not to chase her too, but I thought to myself that I should try a different technique. What if I show my interest in her, but then become unavailable and just try to enjoy the project without focusing too much on the chase? You know what happened? She started to show interest in me and started conversations with me first. So, since I was on NoFap, I realized that if I don't masturbate to porn, why shouldn't I implement the same mentality with real life women too? I'll just see what happens without chasing, without prioritizing her, and focusing more on other things. That's when I realized that my NoFap game went into the next level, and that's how I became more attractive in that situation. If you stick to your NoFap journey and change your perspective on women and on sex, you realize how the NoFap mentality applies when it comes to females, and how by controlling your sexual desires, you can become more desirable to women and, instead of prioritizing them, let them chase you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and also comment down below what superpowers NoFap gives you and how do you use them. Also, follow me on my social medias. I have a Facebook account, Twitter and Instagram, but I'm mainly most active on Instagram, so check it out. Also, if you want to support this channel, there's gonna be a link to my Patreon down in the description. And that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching again, and stay on your journey. Bye.